Hello, good morning or good afternoon. I'm not sure which time zone you're in, but thank you for coming and watching. It's a pleasure to be presenting at Minds and Money. Those of you who are aware, discovery is the best return an investor can get from the mining business. And we've taken the last 4.5 years going after some of the world's largest discoveries. And so discovery is our business. And today I'll be taking through our presentation. As we are an exploration focused company, I'll be making some forward-looking statements, and I'll be quite optimistic and candid with a lot of my comments, as there's a lot of things that are happening for us right now. So what we did as a group, we went out to go find the world's largest mines. We stayed within North and South America, Canada and Peru to be specific. We went for high grade in Canada deposits and large ones, as well as copper, gold, and silver down in Peru. Right now, after about 4 years and over $100 million raised and spent, of which 80% of it went into the ground, we've identified 3 opportunities that rank as tier 1 exploration swings. We're financed, and most recently, June 22nd, we actually become an exploration company again versus a holding company during the COVID lockdowns. So a very, very exciting time for us. I'm not going to belabor management too much. We've found a 5 million ounce deposit in West Africa. We built that mine in the last bear market. We sold a company called Caden Resources for $200 million amidst the bear market back in 2014 to Agnico Eagle. We took those 2 successes and we used them to attract not only people, but a huge amount of financing that helped us build a portfolio to go and do what we did before, but aim much higher than a 5 million ounce gold deposit as we had in our first company. The real trick or the secret to our success is really driven by some incredible geoscientists led by Michael Henriksen and Dave Smithson. These gentlemen come from Newmont. Them and many of their colleagues on this slide were former global experts. They all have different disciplines. So when we go and take on exploration projects, we have diverse experts coming to one conclusion that they all agree on. We behave like a major mining company in terms of exploration through the mechanism of a junior exploration company, which is what's allowed us to go after these world-class potential discoveries. This is the map of where our projects are. The 3 tier 1 exploration swings are Committee Bay in Canada, northern Canada, Sombrero in southern Peru, as well as Curibaya. Homestake Ridge is something we recently put out a PA on. It has about $173 million US after-tax NPV at a 5% discount. That's a value that's about 1.2 million ounces of about 7 grams per ton. That's in the Golden Triangle. It does have room to get bigger, but it backstops a lot of the value in our current market cap. When we raised $100 million, 80% of that went into the ground. And what I'm going to show you today is where it got us, which is the edge of discovery. Looking at Peru, specifically where a lot of our news has been, we've gotten the world's attention in terms of major mining companies and large funds because we're in one of the most prolific regions of Peru where some of the largest mines occur, most notably Las Bambas. That's the 10th largest copper producing mine on the planet. There's about 5 other tier 1 mines, and you can look at this image. In pink, you're seeing intrusive rocks. You're also seeing the date of these intrusions of when these mines occurred. In green, you're seeing volcanic cover, and this is really where the story is. To the west of all those exposed deposits, we looked in the volcanic cover, and we started to find all the same types of rocks and geology as everything that is in the east. Fortuitously for us, we age dated some windows of intrusions, and we ended up getting the same age intrusions, huge gold and copper footprints on surface, and now we're just waiting for drill permits. When looking for world-class deposits, infrastructure is critical. We're looking at paved roads to get to this project. The government fortuitously has put arguably mine power on our site since we've been there, identified by the red line. There are 2 nearby towns. This is a workforce. There's not near any of the targets, but it's close enough. And then secondly, most importantly, the elevation is moderate. It's about 3,900 meters elevation. So incredible from an infrastructure standpoint, which will relate to profitability. This is what we saw when we first got there. Volcanic cover, as I showed you in that image. We saw incredible high-grade copper and gold. And we were wondering, is the volume aspect of this here, or is this just some leakage off some big structures? Subsequent to this image and seeing this, we've sampled up to 230 meters of 0.5 to 0.7% copper and gold equivalent over a series of targets that make up our first targeting that we're going to drill. This image here is showing you what we did as first movers, as aggressive exploration company. We screened 8,000 square kilometers. On the left, you're looking at the copper. The hotter the color, the more copper and drainages. On the right, you're looking at the gold overlap. noting that we're going for another Las Bambas-esque discovery in just for the area where the blue star is, and look at how much areas we have not been to yet. So as first movers, we think we've replicated the entire belt, and we're going to have both copper and gold discoveries. I'm not going to belabor geology because of the short time I have here, but on the left, you're looking at an image from plan view. You're looking at 18 by 6 kilometer geochemical footprint. You can see the small windows where we've done some sampling to date. The first area we're going to work is Sombrero, Maine. That's where we will first drill. The stratigraphy on the right, it's all the same rock types as you see in all the major mines next door, Las Bambas, Tintaya, and Capai. It's the same date intrusion, so everything here is similar. You're just finding more gold on our property versus molybdenum as the second metal that goes with the copper. But instead of going into complex geological slides, this is about 7 kilometers away from our first target. This is a 400-meter cliff from top to bottom. It's Mother Nature's cheat sheet. It's a free cross-section. Paying close attention to the cliff. You see some mining adits inside the cliff. We've sampled bornite at the bottom, high-grade copper at the bottom of it, which gives us the confidence for depth extension. And we've sampled countless high-grade samples on the surface, drill target on the backside of the hill, but it speaks volumes for the area and what may be present. There's a couple drill holes by a predecessor drilled here, identified sulfide versus water and clay in geophysics. We have 12 kilometers of targets that have the same geophysical signature right now, as you see in the black rock there, the magnetite exoscore north of 1% copper and 0.5 gram gold. Not trying to reinvent the wheel. We have an intrusion surrounded by a nice skarn body, as well as porphyry targets, much like Tintaya, which became a hole in the ground that you see in the lower right. So it's very similar in all aspects. In our southern part of our claims, we have something called the Heyo anomaly or Cello anomaly. It's 2 by 2 square kilometers. It's a big precious metal target up to 1 kilo silver, never been drilled, never been tested, and massive antimony and arsenic on surface. We're in the process of starting geophysics there as I speak. So in short, other half of a world-class mining belt, everything's the same as the nearby mines, except for gold versus molybdenum as a second metal with copper, and we're entering the final phase of drill permitting. While we were in Peru, we found this other project called Curibaya. It's down the road from Cerro Verde, Tocopala, Quellaveco, some of the largest mines, again, in Peru and the world. And it borders the epithermal gold belt, which is important because we've been finding precious metals here. Again, it's a maiden project that's never been drilled on a world-class trend. To get here, same idea for infrastructure, access to roads, power lines very close to the project, deep water port nearby, and a town. So again, profitability is going to be very plausible. Not to belabor these numbers here, but just pay attention of how the pink dots are spread out. There's 3 dome complexes that would make up the model where we think these veins are radiating from. This is silver, this is gold, and these are the numbers. So over 40 samples of silver so far, over 400 gram to 14 kilos silver, over 40 over 1.6 grams gold to 42 gram gold, and 0.5% to 13.5% copper. This is the model. Our target is the blue areas in the side of these dome complexes. Pretty straightforward. We're in process of working access here, and we will be completing geophysics and drill targeting and hope to have permits by the end of Q4. No shortage of people that cover our company. A lot of them have fresh reports. Most importantly, 104 million shares out. Today, we sit with about 12 million cash. Outside of being large shareholders at about 15%, we're looking at about 12 million in the treasury and about 75–80% of our share structure in really good hands. And on my last slide, we are entering the discovery phase of 3 different world-class tier 1 projects. Sombrero will be drilled first, followed by Curibaya, and Committee Bay and Homestake would be next year. The optionality that comes with having multiple projects in a portfolio is one where we could actually spin-co our company or split ourselves into 2 or 3 entities going into this bull market. I was doing this for 20 years, and I have not been able to find, as an investor or as an executive, bigger exploration swings than we have here. $100 million later, we're about to get drill permits. We're looking forward to a very exciting 2020. Thank you very much.